the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Let's go, baby, let's go!
From a championship backfield to your morning drive.
Hands to Hester, and Hester, yep, got it, 5 out of 5.
You're locked in to Off the Bench.
Flynn is back to throw from the end zone. Boom!
Live from the Raising Cane studio, here's Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Welcome into a Friday edition of Off the Bench. Taylor Sharp in the host chair today. Look, guys, the crew, they got caught up in Mobile. They weren't able to make it back today. Jake's out, Matt's out. But wait a minute. Alondra is here.
Yeah.
So that means they did not get caught up in Mobile. Jake and Matt were just like, we're going to sit this Friday out. But one member of the crew actually showed up.
They tapped their helmets.
So we appreciate
I'm
it.
the grittiest one out of the both of them.
Right.
Out of the three of us, I have the most grit.
Two former NFL players.
Yeah.
And Alondra, and only one
I'm the
of them.
alpha here.
Only one of them showed up. I mean, the streets are talking a little bit.
They are.
Guys, how we doing? How was Mobile?
Mobile was awesome. That was my first time at the Senior Bowl. It was great. It was a lot of fun. I feel like I learned a lot. I feel like I know where everybody's going to go in the draft now. And the number one pick overall is going to be Cole Payton because he's the only one who knew what Varsity Blues was.
It's true. Matt was big on him all week long.
Undrafted, Jennings Dunker. That was the upset of the entire.
When y'all sent me that, I was so disappointed.
It was. He literally didn't have any opinions.
A few years ago, there was a guy that actually looked exactly like him. His name's Cody Malk. He was from North Dakota State. I mean, belly out to here, red mullet, looked great. He was good. He's actually a starter on the Buccaneers now. But, yeah, Jennings Dunker. I mean, to look like that and have those kind of answers, really, really disappointing.
Also, he spells his name with a G.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
No.
Jennings.
Yeah.
I don't like that. You sound a lot better than I thought you would. I actually thought y'all would be. I just thought y'all would be sick. Y'all were out in the cold, for a while.
So yesterday, Matt left. So Matt ended up renting a car and left before Jake and I did because Jake. Well, to be fair, Huck was playing in the Super Bowl yesterday.
I did hear him say that last night.
So Huck was playing in the Super Bowl yesterday. So I was like, yeah, go do it, whatever. And then I was thinking about going with him, but I was like, I'm not gonna leave Jake to. For sure. Yeah. So I waited on Jake, and yesterday I was actually up in the booth with him instead of being outside because I was like, I'm not gonna get any.
Right. What's actually going to happen?
Right. It's the third day of practice. I think we learned what we had to learn from it. So I didn't really pay too much attention to practice yesterday. But the first two that I went to, it was, you wouldn't think that watching practice is fun, but it was really fun. And I had Matt next to me just yapping about football, and I loved it. It was great.
Okay, who drove over to Mobile?
Matt.
I was going to take a slight shot at you and Matt before y'all went out there.
Why?
Because I was like, guys, we need Jake to drive. We don't need another Alondra Wreck or Flasher Flynn on the roadways. Like, we didn't need that.
Flynn uses flashers.
It was cold, so Flynn may have had the flashers on. I wasn't sure, but
Jake drove back.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the safe option. That was the safe. Look, your fault or not.
They didn't let me drive.
We've had a few here recently, so I mean the track record says something.
Yeah, one too many wrecks for me, to be honest.
Like, I'm glad y'all stayed healthy. Y'all ever sleep so good that, like, you don't know what day it is?
Yeah.
Okay, so I showed up here Wednesday, and, like, it's the worst I've felt in years. I mean, like, I was in bad shape. I told Alondra, like, you ever see roadkill on the side of the road? That's, like, what I felt like physically. So I go home, like, 1:45 on Wednesday, which is way early for me. I never go home at 1:45. Got in bed about 2:30. I wake up, Alondra. It's daytime outside. I lose my mind, and I'm like, I overslept and just OTB.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I didn't get a phone call. I was like, Victoria probably called in for me. I clicked my phone. It was 4:30 in the afternoon. I'd been asleep 2 hours. I was like, okay, well, so we're good. Victoria but we shook back from that. That was her fault, though. She got me sick. Normally, it's the other way around. But Cassie, how we doing? Straight off the Lego masterpiece?
I'm all right. I'm a little tired. So talk about Legos. I, for Christmas, got a Lego Tiger Stadium, and it was
Oh,
pretty
that's
awesome.
cool.
It's
Yeah.
legit.
It's not Lego brand, but like it's still like the Lego bricks, whatever. But it's pretty awesome. I've been working on it like since Christmas, and I finally finished it last night. Didn't finish it till like midnight though, but I was determined to finish it. But now I'm really tired.
Well, I was telling you, it looks like the second half of the Texas A&M game because there were no fans in the stands on the Tiger Stadium
Yeah,
you made.
I'll have to pull up a picture.
It was game used for sure. Guys, I got a confession to make. I'm not saying that like I'm going to become Lane Kiffin full time, but I did some pretty Lane Kiffin things last night.
What?
Uh-oh.
I don't like the way that you prefaced that.
I know. Not what you think.
I don't love that.
I took a yoga class last night.
Oh.
Okay.
I did.
With Victoria?
Yes. So she goes to this
Was
place.
it hot yoga or was it
It
just...
was. It was
Okay.
90 degrees.
Okay,
So it's called
okay.
YS90 is the program.
All
It's
right.
literally a place called Yoga Studio 90. She
Okay.
goes to it in Denham. And she goes like 2 or 3 times a week. Well, they had the
Okay, I love this.
Bros and Brews special last night.
Okay.
So LaShin Brewing out in Denham.
Awesome.
Yeah, local brewery. They partnered with Yoga Studio 90 to like have refreshments after the class. And I mean, it was 50-50 male female. Like I was still concerned like, what if it's just me and one other dude? Like I don't want to do this, but wasn't bad.
Right.
I learned that I'm not in nearly as good enough shape as I thought I was. 10 minutes into a 45-minute workout, I was done. I was like, I'm done. Get me out of here. How do you do this 3 times a week? But yeah, guys, I didn't know if I wanted to say it because I know people are gonna pick on me.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, it was nice. I'd go back. Now, would I do it 2 or 3 times a week?
Are
No.
you sore?
Yeah,
I've never taken you.
in the back though, like the back sore.
All right.
Lot of downward dog, guys. It's one thing I learned.
Lane Kiffin, too.
It's one thing I learned. Right.
That's his fave.
Yeah. I mean that was gonna be the activity. Like I learned that it's built around that pose. And
Yeah.
they don't stop either. Like I was expecting, 3 or 4 different workouts at this little circuit, stop, have like a 5-minute explanation of the next thing. No. You get like 10 seconds of rest to drink water and then you're right back at it. So I mean it's
Yeah.
50 minutes straight.
That's why.
It kind of beat the crap out of me,
See,
but
I don't think I would like that because I don't like to sweat.
well,
I
I
feel
mean
like that's just gross.
you sweat when you walk in, and if it's not hot enough, they turn on a heater in there. But like they keep it at 90. Like it was a hot boy. They actually opened the door for a little bit to like let in a little bit of cold air because sometimes
Yeah.
it gets too hot. But they try to keep it. I think it's like 88 to 90. But yeah, it was a good time. Full disclosure, I didn't want to do it. A couple weeks ago, Victoria goes, "Hey, they have this bros and brew class,"
Bros and brew.
and I was like, "What is it?" She goes, "Okay, well, you have to go do this hot YS90 class with me, and then they have beer after it." So I was like, "I know, we're not doing that." And then she said we were doing it, so of course we wound up doing it. I mean, that's how the dynamic works. But it wasn't great, guys.
Yeah.
What a great performance
Yeah.
by me. Like I didn't mind it. I walked in thinking I was like, okay, I can do this. I'm gonna be a lot better. I thought it was gonna be a lot better than I actually was. Pretty bad. You boys got bad hips. Learn that.
You're not very flexible.
No.
Okay.
I told Victoria it was one thing you had to like lay on your hip, and I was like, Victoria, I'm too bony for this. Like I don't have any meat in the leg area. Like I need a little bit more here. And we made it work. There was a guy behind me like live streamed himself doing it.
Oh,
No,
nice.
he did not.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now I mean he was totally an amateur
Were people
too. Like,
watching?
oh, I don't know. I was in
Oh.
front of him, so I couldn't see his screen.
Yeah.
He was right behind me, and Victoria's like, Taylor, I always like to get to the front. Can we get to the front of the class? I'm like, oh, so everybody can watch us. That's perfect.
Yeah.
There's 3 rows, and I'm in the front, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we made it work. It was something I didn't think I was gonna do.
All
I used
right.
to laugh at T-Bob all the time about being a male doing it, but I mean, who knew? I dove right in. We made it happen. It was a good time. But yeah, Yoga Studio 90 in Denham is what it was called. It was it was a good time. It's only about 10 minutes from our house, but like, yes, I'll go again. Am I gonna go anytime in the near future? I don't know if my body can handle it.
Yeah.
Like, if you're into that, go, because like it was relaxing. I slept like a baby last night. My alarm went up. I wasn't even mad that the alarm went off this morning. I mean, it was incredible. But Alondra, you seem like a hot yoga person.
So I've never done hot yoga, but I've done plenty of hot Pilates.
So this is a mixture. I think
Yeah.
Victoria actually calls it like yoga Pilates.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a mixture of the two.
I've never done yoga though.
Okay. I mean,
I've been told that I need to do it, but I haven't tried it yet.
You'd like it. You ran a freaking half marathon.
Yeah.
You'd like this.
I don't know.
In 20-degree weather.
Yeah, I don't know if
I
it's
should
like my
do it. I
thing.
feel like I'd like it, but I don't want to wake up early to go work out.
Well, this one was.
I have an after.
this
a
one was
place
at
we can
night.
go afternoon.
This one was at
But
night.
also,
This
like
was,
when I get home from work, I don't feel like working out.
Yeah,
either.
I feel
So
that.
that's my issue.
I definitely feel
so
that.
see, I'm the opposite. Like she likes to wake up really early
Yeah.
and work
Yeah.
out. Not me. And like it's not that I don't want to wake up early. I mean, I get up early every
Right.
morning to come do the show, but I'm not
Right.
doing that. I actually prefer an afternoon, which I know most people don't.
Yeah.
But
I just never feel like working out.
like Victoria goes, "Hey, they have a 5:15 a.m. one." I was like, "No." I was like, "We do the 6 in the evening." Seems much more my speed. But no, guys,
Oh, I got a picture of my Legos.
Oh,
You
yes,
see
see
them?
it. Let's see the Legos.
It's pretty damn cool.
That's awesome. I need one of those.
It's really cool. It's huge too.
So, did I ever show you my groom's cake from a wedding?
I don't know.
I love
I'll
that.
have to pull
I
up the
need one
picture a
of
little bit
those.
later. I mean, it was this tall. It was Tiger Stadium, like an actual
Oh, that's cool.
Tiger Stadium. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my groom's cake before the wedding happened. Like, nobody's actually there for the grooms. I was just kind of standing them out amongst
Yeah.
everybody, and Cade was there,
Awesome.
and he was walking up, and he's like, all the guys were just gathered around the groom's cake the entire time. Like
Yeah.
it was a fun time. All right, look, fun little first segment there. Kind of wanted to get a little recap of the Senior Bowl, explain why Jake and Matt decided not to come in today, and now you guys know that I do hot yoga. So there's something else you can laugh at me about. But we're gonna take a time out. We get back. We're gonna officially get this thing started. We got a lot to talk about. ESPN ranked the top 100 transfers. LSU has a lot of players on that list. We'll highlight a couple of them, and then we'll talk some LSU baseball coming up at 7:45. Alondra will chop that up. That's all coming up here on a Friday edition of Off the Bench.
Off the bench.
All right, if you live on the Spanish Town Parade route and you're hosting people at your house, here is a pro tip. Well, there's people in your house. You call Trash Rangers Sanitation for clean, reliable, special event portable toilets. So whether you're throwing a neighborhood party, hosting friends, or just planning ahead for parade day, Trash Rangers brings the toilets right to your home quick, easy, hassle-free. Spanish Town is coming up on February the 14th, so don't wait until the last minute. Plan ahead and call now or visit trashrangers.com and get your spot covered for parade day.
That's right, Trash Rangers, trashrangers.com. Go check them out. The most reliable trash and waste removal service in Louisiana. So it doesn't matter if it's residential, doesn't matter if it's commercial, industrial, whatever it is. And it doesn't matter what size of the business that you have. So if you need one pickup a day, if you need 6 pickups a week, it does not matter. Roll-off dumpsters, they got 3 sizes to choose from. Just give them a call. Tell them the size of your project. They can size one perfectly for you. TrashRangers.com.
Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
I'm holding on your rope, got me 10 feet off the ground. And I'm hearing what you say, but I just can't make you sound.
Song's what I needed. Oh, is this one of like the smoothest songs of all time?
I don't know, but it's pretty good.
It's got to be. This is such a banger.
I haven't heard this song in a really long time.
Ugh. I'll be listening to it later. So this one's gonna be added to the playlist. I hadn't heard this in a long time either. All right, so first segment, we wanted to have a little fun. I told you about my extracurricular activities last night. We got a recap of the Senior Bowl from Alondra and Alondra only because Jake and Matt decided they wanted to take the day off. So Taylor Sharp here with you in the host chair. Look, we're gonna dive in here. There's a lot going on. ESPN ranked their top 100 transfers. LSU has 5 of them. But before we do that, let's get this show started.
It's time to get glowing. Courtesy of GoFlow IV Spa, where hydration, vitamins, and a summer-ready glow are always on tap. Now, for starters.
Okay, so ESPN ranked the top 100 transfers. We are not going through all 100 of these. I mean, I stopped at about 20. For what it's worth, LSU does have 5 of them on this list, the lowest being Jace Brown at 73 overall. I think that's a little too low. We'll get to him in just a second. But out of the 5 they have on there, 3 of them are inside the top 10. Now, the highest ranked guy is Sam Levitt. He is number 3 on this list, actually behind Brendan Sorsby, who is number 1. I kind of think they're what and what. Like when LSU fans freaked out that Brendan Sorsby went to Texas Tech over LSU, my thought was always, okay, yeah, but if you get Sam Levitt, it's a wash because those two guys are about what and what. Provided Sam Levitt's fully healthy, I have no reason to believe by the time the season rolls around, he won't be. But Sam Levitt comes in at number 3, and it makes a lot of sense because Levitt has every opportunity to be successful here, and it's because LSU did a really, really good job in the transfer portal, filling in every single one of their positions of need. I mean, between the high school and the portal, they added 13 receivers. Now, I know we all laughed about it, saying, oh, man, are they just going to have, 11 receivers out there on the field? But it makes sense that they added that many. You go back and look at the team stats for Ole Miss from a year ago. They had 6 guys with at least 400 yards receiving, nobody with 1,000. So Lane Kiffin likes to spread that thing around a little bit. So you're going to need all those weapons. I mean, if you're going 5 or 6 guys per game, you're basically only 2 deep now with that 13-man wide receiver room. So I'm actually good with it, and there's some studs there as well. I mean, I'm pumped about Jace Brown. I mentioned that he made this list. Like, Jace Brown, almost 1,000 yards. He was around 750, 800 last year at Kansas State. But he had 120 yards rushing on that offense for the Wildcats last year. You mean to tell me, as creative as Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss Jr. are, they can't find unique ways to get that guy the ball? I'm excited about him. I think he's going to be your wide receiver 1 next year, if all things hold. Obviously, you have Eugene Wilson or Trey Wilson, whatever you want to call him, out of Florida. And, he's a guy that his numbers don't pop out at you, but he played in a bad offense with even worse quarterback play. I mean, think about this. For the 2 years he was there in Florida, Graham Mertz and DJ Lagway were his quarterbacks. I mean, you might as well have me throwing you the ball. And spoiler alert, guys, I ain't that good. And then you got Jackson Harris from Hawaii. I mean, over 900 yards, 12 touchdowns, and only 11 games played. He's also 6'3". Like, those are all guys that could come in and contribute right away. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, you signed 3 studs out of high school who I love. I mean, there's tons of depth pieces out there. You sign big, tall, physical receivers. You have a good mix of guys. Winston Watkins from Ole Miss comes over. He made this list as well. He's way down in the 80s, but, I mean, he made the list of the top 100. There's so many guys on this list, and O-line should be a lot better. It kind of has to be, right? And for a while, after you landed Sam Levitt, offensive line was your biggest concern, as it should have been. It took a little bit of time for those guys to trickle in, but I think you got a heck of a class. You're bringing back Braylon Moore. You're bringing back Weston Davis. And I get that Weston Davis wasn't great last year, but you also lose Brad Davis, which to me is a net positive. I think Eric Wolford will do a lot better job than Brad Davis because, again, he kind of has to. So let's say he takes that second-year jump. You bring in Devin Harper. Can he battle for a guard spot? The guard from Maryland who you brought in, might be the most underrated signing in that class. He started 23 consecutive games at guard in the Power 4. That's a guy, he's plug and play. He's going to slide in at one of those guard spots and probably take one of those jobs pretty soon. And then you bring in the next guy on this list. Coming in at number 4 is Jordan Seaton, who's probably going to be your left tackle. Now, there was so much talk about Jordan Seaton. Was he worth the money you were going to pay him? Is he ever going to sign? Does LSU need to move on? Well, here's the thing. 1, it's not my money. And 2, I've accepted the fact that LSU football just has endless amounts of money, so it doesn't really matter how much you pay a kid. But, look, he's 6'5". He's 330 pounds. He was second team all Big 12 last year as a left tackle. And some people may say, okay, second team all Big 12. Like, that's good, but it's not first team All-American. No, but he gave up 3 pressures and 0 sacks all year long at that spot. I mean, this is a guy that has first-round draft pick potential if he lives up to that potential. I think he's going to slide in there at that tackle. So you're replacing 3 to 4 offensive linemen from a year ago, depending on who wins starting jobs. But you might be better at every position this year. Like, okay, even if Devin Harper doesn't win the job at guard, you got a guy like Solomon Thomas who people forget about. Like, all the rage last year was Carius Curran. And I get it. A 5-star. He could play guard and tackle. He got thrown in there. You really wanted to see what he could do. But Solomon Thomas was a 5-star in his own right. I mean, remember, they flipped him from Florida State on National Signing Day, and that was considered a big recruiting win for Brian Kelly. People just forget about him because he had a season-ending injury in fall camp, didn't get to play the whole year. That's a talented guy. I could see him coming in there, getting some solid reps, maybe winning that left guard spot if it all works out. So, I mean, the weapons for Sam Levitt are going to be plentiful. You have a number of them. And then your offensive line should be a lot better. Now, number 6 on this list, we're moving to the defensive side of the ball. This is the last guy for LSU inside the top 10. No surprise here. It's Prince Will Umanmielen from Ole Miss. This was the biggest splash outside of Sam Levitt was probably Prince Will. 44 tackles total, but 13 tackles for a loss and 9 sacks. And that's a 9-sack guy. You had to improve your pass rush. Here's how bad it was last year. Remember, you brought in all those transfers at the edge rushing position. We kind of thought that was the job you had done the best at in the portal a year ago. You brought in Patrick Payton from Florida State. He had big-time moments there. You brought in Jamari Butler. He had been at 2 spots, performed well at both. And then Jack Pyburn coming over from Florida. Now, with Pyburn, it's a little bit different. He came here to learn how to be a pass rusher. I don't think people expected him to come in and be an elite SEC pass rusher day one. That was kind of his limitation at Florida. He left to improve that here. He finished with 2 sacks. That's about what I expected from a guy like him. Jamari Butler, 2 sacks. Patrick Payton came to LSU last year as a double-digit sack guy, 1 sack. Harold Perkins was your leading sack getter last year on your entire defense with 4. And he played the star position. I don't think people realize just how poor your pass rush was a year ago. That's going to improve a lot because you got Gabriel Relaford back. He flashed 2 years ago as a freshman, played early last year, had that season-ending injury. If he's fully healthy, that's another body that can slide in there for you. You bring in Jordan Ross from Tennessee. Again, hasn't played a ton because of injury, but was a really highly recruited guy coming out of high school. He's got potential. Jaylen Brown from South Carolina. Again, another guy you bring in. Sky could be the limit for him athletically. You brought in so many bodies, proven guys, and then guys with a ton of potential to pair with some of these freshmen. Like, don't forget about Damian Shanklin, who the coaching staff raved about a year ago. No, he didn't get a ton of playing time because I mentioned the 4 guys ahead of him, and he was a true freshman, but he's a guy that certainly looks the part. I mean, he fills out that uniform. Like, when we were out there last year in fall camp, everybody's like, who's that? Who's that guy right there? Who's 17? It was Damian Shanklin. I mean, he looks like he is physically ready to go right now. I am very excited about his potential on this defense. The last guy I want to mention is not inside the top 10. He's actually a lot lower on the top 100 list than I thought he was going to be. It's Ty Benefield, the safety transfer from Boise State. He comes in at 34. I think that's too low. Ty Benefield, I mean, I know I've mentioned it numerous times on the show, but I'm going to keep beating this drum. Ty Benefield's probably my favorite player LSU signed out of this transfer portal class in terms of just raw ability. I think he is an excellent safety. When he comes in at 6'6", around 205, 210, perfect size for a safety. Played a lot of games. Played 41 games over 3 years at Boise State. Started most of those games. Just look at last season. 107 tackles, 70 of them were solo, 8.5 tackles for a loss and 2 interceptions. It's perfect because that's a guy that gives you versatility. And, you know, when you looked at safety in the offseason, it's not a position that a lot of people thought, okay, that's a big position to need. You're going to go get a top guy. Because you had Tamarcus Cooley coming back, who was really good for you all year long. You also had Deshaun Spears, who was in his second year. He flashed for you. Now, he wasn't an everyday starter because he had to play behind Cooley and A.J. Halsey, but he was your second highest rated defender all year long. Behind only Mansour Delane, who about to be a first-round pick. Not bad there for Deshaun Spears. So you thought you had your 2 guys locked up in Spears and Cooley, but this gives you so much versatility on this defense. I mean, I mentioned the tackling, I mentioned the coverages, but 8.5 tackles for a loss for Benefield. Can he slide into that star position that you're going to have to fill because Harold Perkins is moving on? What if he's really good at safety? Can you slide Deshaun Spears down? I would love to see Deshaun Spears at that star position. He's 6'3", pushing 220 right now, and that's a big safety. That's bigger than what Harold Perkins played at last year, and he did a good job at that star. Now, I think C.J. Jim Coyley is going to have something to say about that star position. He was great last year in fall camp. He certainly looked the part as well. But you just have so much versatility with a guy like Ty Benefield. So you bring in a guy that you know is going to play right away, that has played big-time football at a high level, that gives you so much versatility whether it's at star, whether it's at safety, where do you put Deshaun Spears? CJ Jim Coyley can come into the mix. Maybe some of these young freshmen as well. Like, I get that safety probably wasn't like a pressing need as far as like we don't have anybody we're comfortable with starting. But getting a guy like Ty Benefield, like if a player of that caliber is in the portal and interested, you take him. And that's exactly what this staff did. And I could not be more excited about this guy's potential in this Blake Baker defense. Again, Winston Watkins did make this list. He was somewhere in the 80s. And then Jace Brown made this list also at 73 in terms of the top 100 transfer portal players. Look, we're not going to go through them all. I just wanted to highlight a couple of them right there because I think all four of these guys that I just mentioned are going to play some big-time football for the LSU Tigers coming up in 2026. All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. When we get back, possible changes to the targeting rule in college football. It's obviously long overdue. We're talking about it a little bit next. Coming up here on Off the Bench.
Off the bench.
All right, go to gcopnet.com, Gulf Coast Office Products. Baton Rouge Business Journal came out, and, well, they were number one. There's no surprise that they were number one in office supplies here in Baton Rouge. They're number one in the Gulf South. That's why they are the official partners of the Saints, the Pelicans, LSU, the Raging Cajuns, because they know who they can trust, and that's always going to be Gulf Coast Office Products. So if you work at an engineering firm, law firm, hospital, bank, university, like anything that needs documents and it's the lifeline of your business, you need to work with GCOP.
That's right. If you work in an office, if you run an office, you know that paper trail is the lifeline of how that office operates. And when that lifeline goes down, business ceases to function. It's hard to function without it. That's why they have an award-winning servicing right there at Gulf Coast Office Products, the best in the business. They are right here in Louisiana. They ship all over the country, but they are focused right here with all their offices ready to help your office. GCOPnet.com.
Turn the lights off in this place.
2007 champs, purple and gold to the core. This is Off the Bench with Hester and Flynn. Baton Rouge's go-to for all things Louisiana sports.
Turn the music up in here. I still hear her.
All right, if you're looking to upgrade your home inside or out, check out our friends over at K to Z Interiors and Outdoor Living. From custom blinds and shades to outdoor living solutions, K to Z helps you create spaces that keep you looking great and function even better. They work with you, as we always talk about, from start to finish, offering quality products, professional installation, and attention to detail you can trust. So whether you're refreshing one room or transforming your entire outdoor space, K to Z Interiors and Outdoor Living has you covered. So visit K2Z Blinds, that's KTOZBlinds.com to learn more. Have Brandon Barton and the team come out to your space, K2ZBlinds.com.
Right, K to Z Interiors and Outdoor Living. If you're ready to elevate your space from light control, privacy, pure style, and custom window treatments that are designed to transfer your home beautifully. And so at K to Z, they bring the showroom to you and they offer free in-home consultations and installations. So go check them out, K2ZBlinds.com.
All right, welcome back in. Friday edition of Off the Bench. Taylor Sharp in the host chair, filling in for Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn. Elijah Villarreal, Cassie Spazzali along for the ride as well. Teased it a little bit there going into break. Our guy Chris Marler at LouisianaSports.net actually put up this article. That's where I saw it, that the NCAA and the officials committee is actually considering maybe a few tweaks to the targeting rule. And my first response is, well, it's about time. I mean, that is the rule we hate the most. Like, we set up here a month ago and said, we don't like the transfer portal. We don't like the targeting rule. Those are the two things top of mind we would change if there was a commissioner of college football. I didn't realize that targeting had been around since 2008. Time really freaking flies. That's almost 20 years. But the ejection part of it didn't start till 2013, which makes a lot more sense. But my issue with the targeting rule, like, look, player safety thing, I get it. That's fine. If you care about player safety, that's awesome. It is such a subjective call. It is such a call of like, hey, let me make a judgment call here. It's a bang-bang play, and it just seems like every big-time hit is now flagged. Now, it's fine if you want to, hey, let's flag it. Let's call it targeting. We're going to go review it. We can always pick up the flag. I'm good with that. I know it takes the game a little bit longer, but if you have to get the call right, I'm okay with that. What I don't like is certain plays are called targeting, some are not, and even after review, they still get it wrong. And the reality is, I say they get it wrong. We don't really know if it's wrong or right because nobody can give us the definition. Like, yes, forcible contact to the head and neck area, sure. But sometimes guys lead with their helmet, sometimes guys lead with their shoulder, and you could say, okay, well, it doesn't matter. It's across the board. But it does matter because you don't always call it the same. But it's never explained why it's called certain ways in certain situations. Like Jake sits up here all the time. I think it's a great idea. He always says, I think that officials should have a post-game press conference. If there's a big call in a big-time moment that could potentially impact the outcome of the game, just go up there. I mean, look, we're not trying to stone you in the street or burn you. Like, they just want an explanation. Why can't officials go in there? Players have to do post-game interviews. Coaches have to do post-game interviews. If I want to know why my star wide receiver dropped the ball, he's going to get asked about it post-game. If I want to know why a coach went for it on 4th down in his opposing territory, or his own territory, he's going to be asked about that in postgame. Why can't officials as well? So Steve Shaw, the national coordinator of officials, says, what targeting is driven in terms of player behavior change has been really good, and the numbers reflect that. But how can we continue this trend of taking out more and more of these hits we don't want in the game while being less punitive? This is going to sound a little bit insensitive. You signed up to play football. At the end of the day, like, no one's forcing you to do it. Big hits are going to happen. I mean, it's just part of the game. If you don't like that it's part of the game, maybe consider go play something else. Like, okay, there was a play that we'll do right now that I played after the game happened. It was Georgia versus Ole Miss in that playoff game, and Georgia lost the key starter in their secondary because of this, and Ole Miss ultimately won the game. Like, this play right here, that was called targeting. The player leads with his shoulder, not his helmet. I think he's trying to slow down. It was called targeting. They reviewed it. It was upheld. I don't see that player launch, leave his feet, lead with his helmet. I kind of see, hey, I'm going in there to make a tackle. I'm trying to slow down and brace for this hit as best possible. To me, that's not targeting. There's no malicious intent behind it. They called it targeting. Which, okay, if you want to call it, fine. But there was a play in the Ole Miss-Miami game where an Ole Miss player, came in helmet to helmet, hit the receiver across the middle. It was called no targeting. It was called incidental contact. I just don't understand how some plays are called targeting and some aren't. Like, again, the premise behind targeting is fine. You want to keep the player safe. I understand that. But when you're ejecting guys for a play like that we just saw with the Georgia safety where he slows down, he kind of leans back a little bit, drops his shoulder to avoid a helmet-to-helmet hit, and you're still called for targeting, you still get ejected, what else do you want the player to do? I mean, at the end of the day, this is football. It's a violent sport. There's a lot of bang-bang plays. I'm coming for the ball. The receiver's going for the ball. We get there at the same time. Like, it happens. Not every big hit is targeting. But it just seems like referees kind of pick and choose, like, oh, that player got hurt, or, oh, that was a big-time hit. Like, it must be targeting. That's not necessarily the case. Like, I don't really get the whole point of, hey, let's throw this guy out. Let's completely impact the outcome of this game by this one call. But a little bit later on in the game, a defensive back or a linebacker or whoever is going to make almost the same exact identical play, and we're not going to call it. Like, I would almost prefer at this point any big-time hit like that just be called targeting. I know it sucks. I know it's not fun. I know it's bad for the players and fan experience, but at least there's uniformity, right? Like, at least there's consistency. This whole, oh, well, and first off, the rules analyst they bring in, Matt Austin, Gene Steratore, who the hell told them they were rules analysts? Like, I feel like they're never right. Like, anytime you bring in these guys, they try to give you some long, convoluted answer of, oh, well, he went in and you got to determine if there's intent behind it. How do you determine intent? If Cassie and Alondra were fighting back there, and I'm like, who started it? They're not going to say. Like, how do you find out intent? You go up to the player and be like, did you mean to hit that guy helmet to helmet? Be honest with me. Like, the whole intent rule is dumb. I don't understand that. By the way, the only thing that Cassie would ever be fighting over would be like a Chick-fil-A order or something like that. She's not a very violent person, but hey, it could happen. Crazier things have happened. For player safety, When a player has to stop and hesitate and second guess themselves before they're making a hit, that's where injuries happen. Remember about 6 or 7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago, in the NFL, they were really cracking down on the roughing the passer. It was like you could basically not hit the quarterback above the shoulders. You couldn't hit them below the knee. It was really hard, and these players were pulling up. I remember this like it was yesterday. Cameron Wake, the defensive end of the Miami Dolphins, he was a Pro Bowl defensive end the year before. He tore his ACL because he had to slow down so dramatically to avoid hitting the quarterback because he was scared he was going to get a roughing the passer call on him. And he tore his ACL on that play. He was out for the season. At the end of the day, is it worth it? Like, this is eventually going to cause more harm than good. I think it already has. I hate the targeting penalty. Like, we always talk about a commissioner of college football. If I was the commissioner of college football, my first rule would be take away the targeting penalty. We were fine for years without it. Move on. It's football. Go out there and play. It's got to be either an all or nothing. You got to call every one of them or you got to call none at all. This back and forth judgment call, referees not having to explain themselves, all that, like, it's bad for the game. It's bad for everybody involved. I don't really understand the direction we're going. And the fact that Steve Shaw again said that, oh, well, you know, I think it's done a good job. We just want to tweak a few things. You think they've done a good job calling targetings? He said player behavior change has been really good. Yeah, man, they're trying to take themselves out of the game. They're trying to slow down to avoid hitting guys. Player behavior has changed, and I don't think it's for the better. But look, that's just me. I'm one person. Like, I'm good with a 15-yard penalty if that's what you want. I hate the ejection. That impacts the whole outcome of the game. Like, these guys get paid now, right? I mean, we always see, oh, their NIL evaluation is this. This person was guaranteed X amount of dollars to go to this school, which is why they committed there in the transfer portal. Fine them. They make money. If you don't want to fine them, you think it's too harsh on the players. I don't, but a lot of people think that the players should get to do whatever they want. Fine the school. You fine the school for fans storming the field because you say that's a player safety issue. I mean, the NFL guys, they don't get ejected from the game. It's a 15-yard personal foul. You'll probably get a couple $1,000 fine. Why can't you implement something like that? And again, you don't even have to fine the players, fine the school. I'm good with it, but ejecting guys and not really giving a black and white definition of what you're looking for in targeting, I just think it's really, really bad for college football, and I do hope something does change here in the very near future. All right, we're going to take a timeout a little bit early because coming back, your LSU baseball team 2 weeks away from today for opening up their season out at Alec Box, and me and Alondra, we're going to chop it up, kind of talk about what we're looking forward to during that opening weekend. The Tigers are actually scrimmaging for a 4-day period. It started yesterday. They're also scrimmaging today, tomorrow, and Sunday in preparation for that opening game. We're talking about all of it next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
All right, go to centralplumbing.org. Not only in Central, the entire greater Baton Rouge area, we are talking to you. You know they've got 24/7, 365 weekend game day holiday emergency services, but take this number down. It is a new number, 225-500-0774. 225-500-0774. Now, it's not only in emergencies. If you're looking to upgrade at your home, at your business, if you're starting brand new at your new home or your business, they can come in and they can do whatever you need to get done. Also, check out the tankless water heaters. Never run out of hot water again. Go to centralplumbing.org.
That's right, Central Plumbing, centralplumbing.org, the plumbing experts right here in Baton Rouge. Don't be like Taylor. Drip your faucets this weekend. We got a winter storm coming. But if you don't, you know what? And if you have some plumbing issues, if your pipes explode, because it's going to happen to somebody, make sure you call Central Plumbing, 225-500-0774, or go visit them at centralplumbing.org.
Me again. And I'm back.
Locked in on LSU football 24/7. You're listening to Off the Bench.
Welcome back in a Friday edition of Off the Bench. Taylor Sharp in the big boy chair, filling in for Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn. Alondra Villarreal, Cassie Spazzali here as well. Okay, guys, 2 weeks from today, February 13th, get fired up. I know Alondra will be out there yelling at the opposing pitchers while they're warming up in the bullpen.
It's what I do every
Right. I mean, you got to.
I'm a heckler.
You got to. You got to heckle the bullpen and the right fielder, depending on where you're sitting. Everybody knows this.
Yeah.
These are the rules,
Like,
guys.
your mom doesn't love you.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what I used to do,
She hates you.
what I used to do when I would go with my friends, my buddy went to LSU. He had season like student tickets. We could sit in right field. I would look up the player bio and find their parents' names
Yeah.
in their bio, get in their head a little bit. We used to love doing that.
Actually hilarious.
But 2 weeks from today, February 13th, LSU is welcoming Milwaukee into Alex Box Stadium. Guys, we're fired up about it. Jay Johnson, 2 natties in 4 years. You kidding me? Best coach in college baseball. I know Alondra's fired up about it. Okay, so if I was to ask you, like opening weekend, you know, we broke it down pretty good the other day with Flynn, but like, okay, one pitcher, one position player, like you're really excited to see.
Okay, this is a hard one because there's so many that I'm very excited to go see, but somebody that has been getting a lot of talk in the pitcher side of things and that I've been hearing great things about is Cooper Moore, transfer from Kansas.
He's going to start, right?
Yeah,
like
I
this
mean,
point.
I think he might be the Sunday guy. So, and then y'all know I'm a big Zach Cowan fan. I was very happy that he's going to be coming back. Gavin Guidry we finally see the return of Gavin Guidry. So I'm hoping that he's like lives up to the hype that we want, like the Gavin Guidry that we know, and that he gets back to that after being injured. But Cooper Moore had a 3.96 ERA at Kansas last year, and he had a season high of 10 strikeouts versus BYU, and he's been getting a lot of talk during the offseason. So I'm excited to see Cooper Moore and see how some of the other guys have developed, because y'all know I love Nate Yeske. So I know that some of these guys are going to come back with some, like Zach Cowan he needed to develop a couple pitches, and hopefully we see that from him, and I'm excited to see them. In terms of position players, obviously my guy Zach York.
Big body
I
guy.
cannot wait to watch him just drop bombs all the time and hopefully dominate at first base. And I'm very also excited to see Trent Carraway.
Yeah.
The third baseman.
He's locked down third base, it sounds like. That's not a competition anymore.
Coming from Oregon State, and I'm excited to see Trent. I didn't obviously go to see any of the scrimmages or anything like that because I've been in Mobile, but I heard that he's been having a good offensive scrimmage as well. So excited to see Trent Carraway. Very excited to see Zach York because
why would you not be excited to see Zach York?
And our outfield, see how Derek Curiel, if he can get any better than he did last season. I don't know if he can. And then my favorite, Stephen Milam.
Yeah. I mean,
he's the best.
Having your
so
shortstop
excited.
and your whole outfield back, that's like the core of your team. Like people don't think about that. That's the core of your team. That's like in football, we were talking about LSU's defense. Hey, they have their whole secondary back. You basically have that with your outfield. Like that is the core part of your defense that's back.
For sure. And that speaks a lot to like Jay, I feel like, and also the standard that you have made here at LSU. And Jake and I were talking about it on the way home yesterday, and I'm like, okay, our down year with Jay, we made it to a regional,
right?
Like,
and almost won the thing,
right? And y'all know we're like the favorite to win the national championship again.
I can't imagine
why. I was telling Jake, like, I actually have a really good feeling that LSU could very much win back to back.
They absolutely
also the
could.
new Intimidator went up.
I know. I saw it the other day. It
very
looks great.
Exciting.
Tell you what, they're running out of room.
They are. We're going to have to get a bigger Intimidator.
They got to make another one.
So I'm just very excited for the season. And again, I think that Jay has the culture that he's built here, the standard that he set. You're bringing in guys that are going to buy into that. So I feel really good about the transfers that he brought in, and I feel really good about the season.
For me, as far as pitchers, I love that you brought up Gavin Guidry. That was the first name that came to mind. Like I mentioned earlier, hey, people forget about Solomon Thomas. He was a 5-star. People kind of forget about Gavin Guidry because we hadn't seen him in like almost a year and a half. Like he was your rock for 2 seasons at the back of that bullpen. Like last year, yes, Cowan emerged, Kasey Evans emerged before you moved him into the starting role. But beginning of the season, it was, hey, who's going to be that closer? Who's going to fill that Gavin Guidry role because he was so valuable for you for 2 years. And also Devin Sheeran. Again, another guy that not necessarily a newcomer. Just haven't seen him because he was injured all of last season. But, I mean, when Devin Sheeran enrolled last season, people looked at him as almost like, hey, this is a guy that could become a starter. Now, again, he didn't get to play because of injury, but That's a guy I'm keeping an eye on. Now, as far as fielding goes, Seth Dardar for me is a guy that I'm keeping an eye on opening weekend. From everything I've heard coming out of the scrimmages and fall ball, he's the front runner right now at that second base spot. Now, I mean, I know you got Braden Simpson there. I know you have Tanner Reeves has moved from third to second. Like, you got a little bit of a battle there, but Seth Dardar is hitting the cover off of the ball out there at those scrimmages. And, I mean, look, if all things are equal defensively, you know Jay is going to put a big bat in that lineup, especially, you know, the power you lost from a year ago. I think Seth Dardar is going to have a big opening weekend. I am really excited to see him. Like, yeah, I'm excited to see the young outfield players, but, I mean, to what Alondra just mentioned a minute ago, the problem is you got all three of your studs that ended the season last year in the outfield. All of them are back. It's a good problem to have. You just, we'll see how those young guys fit in. Like, you guys know Jay Johnson by now. He's going to play 20 to 30 guys in the field through that 3-game series. Like, that's just what he does in the opening weekend. But Seth Dardar is a guy I just continue to hear really, really good things about. Like, Caraway at third, yeah, the transfer, but if you want to move over a base, Seth Dardar, if he doesn't start, he's going to play a lot. I'm excited to see him in the opening weekend for his ability to hit the baseball. All right, that's going to do it for hour number one. Hit a lot of topics, and that's not going to change. At the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to put a button on the Senior Bowl. Then Ross Jackson, Locked On Saints and LouisianaSports.net, will join us at 8:30 to talk Saints, what he saw at the Senior Bowl, maybe some late-round targets for the New Orleans Saints. That's all coming up. And then the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to have some fun as we close this week out. All that coming up here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
If you're looking for an industrial construction partner you can trust here in Baton Rouge, look no farther than Pala. Pala is a group that specializes in industrial construction and development, bringing experience, precision, and accountability to every project they take on. So from planning to execution, they focus on safety, efficiency, and getting the job right the first time. Whether it's a large-scale industrial build or complex construction project, Pala has the experience to deliver. They've been doing it for over 50 years here in the area. You can learn more at palagroup.com. That is palagroup.com, building with purpose right here in Baton Rouge.
That's right. Like Jake said, over 50 years they've been doing this. Pala's been building with confidence and building the Gulf Coast with a reputation for safety, quality, craftsmanship that stands the test of time. Steel fabrication, precision pipe, and helical piles, tanks, vessels, industrial construction, and maintenance. Pala delivers results you can trust. So go check them out. Visit palletgroup.com.